Okay, now the really fun part about ways we can encourage others. Of course, always starting with the intention to do so, understanding that if people don't feel encouraged, then what we did was not encouraging. There has to be an end result of encouragement for it to be truly encouraging. And of course, being mindful of our words, carefully considering the words that we use, the words that we say. But here are some more concrete things that we can do. So here are some concrete things we can do, and you know what? None of them are terribly difficult to do. They're all pretty easy. And like I said at the very beginning, one of the easiest things we can do that can have the biggest impact. So one thing that we can do that is encouraging is to send snail mail. Actual letters, cards that go through the US Postal Service. I know it's kind of slow right now, but still, it gets there. And here's the reason why. In this world where we can just text, where we can phone, even text, email, there's so many ways to communicate. And when we take the time to write out a note, pick out a card, address an envelope, find a stamp, put it in the mail, that person knows that you cared enough to make that effort. And again, not a huge effort, but it really speaks to someone when you cared enough to go through that effort when you could have just texted or emailed or called. And it is so delightful, as you know, to receive something in your mailbox that is not a bill or a flyer or a catalog. It just is a great boost for the day to receive actual mail. Now, one of the problems I've had in sharing this with people is that unless you are of a certain age, you never really learned how to properly address an envelope. So in case there's some confusion, in case you all need a little help with this, here's a TikTok I made about it.
Here's how to send a piece of snail mail. You put the name of the person you're sending it to smack dab in the middle. Then their street number, their street name, and an apartment number if they have it. Then you put their city and their state and their zip code. Don't forget the zip code. Then, in the top left-hand corner, you put your name, your street address, your city, state, and zip. Then, the most important part, well, one of the most important parts, in the top right-hand corner, place your stamp. And all of these things will ensure that your snail mail gets to where it's supposed to be.
So there you go. My 20-year-old daughter still has to come and ask me, like, which side does the return address go on and which side does the stamp go on when she sends mail? Because she just hasn't done it that much except for thank yous after birthdays and Christmas. And it's just not something she has done a lot. So she still comes and asks, now where does this go? So sending snail mail. And speaking of thank you notes, thank yous, another way to be really encouraging is to say thank you. And I'm not talking about, like I said about my daughter, the thank you notes after Christmas or your birthday or whatever, but a thank you for someone when they have helped you with something.
People love to help, to know that they have been helpful.
It can be something big or it can be something small. Just here's some things. Just letting people know that something that they said or did for you made a real difference.
So why is that encouraging? Because just about everybody you will ever meet wants to know that their life matters, that they are making a difference, that they have a purpose. And so when you thank someone for something that they did or said that made a positive difference in your life, you are telling them that their life matters. They have a purpose. They are making a difference. And if that's not encouraging, I don't know what is. And besides that, it's just a good policy to go around thanking people who've done good things for you.
Businessman and author Henry Mackey says that anyone who is too busy to say thank you will find fewer and fewer chances to do so. So the more we say thank you to people for the difference they have made in our lives, the more we will have to thank people about. Hey, it's me again. Hey, just a reminder, when we're talking about encouraging people, one of the easiest and best ways to encourage others is through social media. Now, we all know that social media has its drawbacks and pitfalls and many problems. However, it is such a great place to encourage others. leaving a comment, a positive comment on someone's post, leaving an encouraging comment when they've posted that things are not going so great, or even sharing something that they have shared. When we do that, what we're saying is, hey, I agree with your opinion, or I really like what you've said here or shared here, so much so that I want to share it with others as well. That can be a real boost to a lot of people. So make it a goal each day to leave 5 positive, encouraging comments on social media. Whatever platform you may use, you might choose to do 5 on each platform, even if you do that. Instagram, Facebook, whatever it is you're using, Twitter, TikTok. Leave 5 positive comments somewhere in the social media universe. It will make a huge difference, I promise. You know, there's a scripture that tells us, rejoice with those who rejoice and mourn with those who mourn. And let me tell you, we are much better at mourning with those who mourn than we are at rejoicing with those who rejoice. Be happy for people. Be excited for people when they are excited about something. My parents had some friends some years ago, pre-pandemic, who had planned for a long time in their retirement. They had been saving for years. They wanted to take a 3-month cruise around the world. They had been planning, they had been saving, and they finally got to a point where they were going to be able to pull it off. They were going to go. And so they were so excited, and they started telling their friends about it. And you know what the reaction was? Oh, do you really want to be gone for that long? Is your house going to be okay? Are y'all going to be still talking by the end of 3 months after being in a ship's cabin together? Oh, really? Around the world? I don't think I want to see all those places. Y'all, it was such a bummer. It was such a bummer for them to be so excited about this and to have everybody else kind of be negative about it. Now, fortunately, they were friends with my parents, who I have said are natural encouragers. And even though the last thing in the world my parents would do would be to get on a 3-month-long cruise around the world, they were thrilled about it. They were thrilled about it. They wanted to hear all about it. And before they went and when they came back, they wanted to see the pictures and they wanted to hear about their favorite places. And it was so encouraging to have somebody be excited with them. Another one of these times when it comes up often is one of my pet peeves. Okay, I am not a runner. I hate running. It just seems jarring and unnecessary. Don't like anything about it. But I have friends who are, and they run races. And I see this happen all the time. Somebody goes, yeah, I'm signed up for the marathon. Why would you want to do that? Oh, well, good for you, because I'm not going to be doing that. No, that is not the right answer, people. The right answer is, wow, good for you. Are you excited? What's the route? Where are you going? Ask those questions. I personally am very encouraging when it comes time to carb load the night before the race. I am always willing to go with my runner friends and load up on carbs with them. That's what makes me so nice, a supportive friend, always ready to carb load with anybody. But that is another way to be encouraging. Whether or not you are interested, whether or not you are excited, when someone is excited about something, be excited for them. Be excited with them. It makes a world of difference. And in the same vein as rejoicing with those who rejoice, make sure when people you know are rejoicing, your reaction is to rejoice with them, when so often our reaction is to be envious of them. And you may really be envious, but that's not the way to react. When someone says, hey, I got this brand new job, I'm going to be doing this, it's my dream job. Your reaction should not be, oh my gosh, I'm so jealous, I hate my job. It should be, wow, that is so great. I am so proud of you. When someone says, we are planning a trip to somewhere you've always wanted to go. Oh, I'm so jealous. I'm never going to get there. No. Oh, I'm so excited. I've always wanted to see Hawaii. Tell me about your trip. Many, many times this comes up. And sometimes we think it is encouraging to tell people that we're jealous or we're envious or even better, oh, I hate you, when someone tells us something they're excited about, some good news. So the reaction should always be, I'm so proud of you, I'm so excited for you, and I celebrate with you. not, I wish I were you and I'm kind of mad that I'm not. Not encouraging. You can go home and be mad later. It's okay. But be encouraging. Celebrate with those who celebrate. Rejoice with those who rejoice. It makes a huge, huge difference. Dale Carnegie, in his book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, says, you can make more friends in 2 months by becoming interested in other people than you can in 2 years by trying to get other people interested in you. So be interested in people. Let them know that you are interested in things that they are interested in. Everybody who meets my husband thinks my husband is so nice. Everybody always likes my husband. And one of the reasons is he's interested in anything they're interested in because he loves learning about new things. So he doesn't have to pretend to be interested. He is always interested, especially if it's something he doesn't know anything about yet. He always wants to know more. And people are constantly telling, oh, your husband is so great. He is such a nice guy. And one of the, he is a nice guy, but one of the reasons they feel that way is he's always interested in what they're doing, in what's going on in their lives, and what they're learning about, because he likes to know, he likes to learn, and he's not pretending. It makes people feel so good to know that someone else is interested in what they're doing. Now, my mom's best friend when I was growing up, her big thing was always to, we had a local paper. I grew up in Hot Springs, Arkansas, about 50,000 people, and we had a daily local paper. And she would go through the paper every day. And after she read it, she would go back through and she would clip out articles that either mentioned people she knew or was about a topic that somebody she knew would be interested in. And she would clip those things out and she would send them in the mail. And if it was about you, if you were in the article, hey, thought you might want an extra copy of this, or hey, I just want to make sure you saw this. I know how much you like bull riding, and it's coming to a stadium near you. Anything just as simple as that. And it made people feel so good. And I know that because it made me feel good. And I know other people who had the same reaction, that there was somebody who knew what they were interested in and were interested enough in them to share those sorts of things with them. Now it's even easier. Now you can just send a link of an article, and you can text or you can email and say, hey, I saw this and I thought about you because I know how much you love to garden. Hey, I saw this and I thought about you because I know that you are looking to change careers, and here's an article about people who are doing that and how it's working out for them. So easy to do. It makes people feel so encouraged when they know that you are interested in them and their lives. And again, really easy thing to do. Just requires a little bit of intention. Another great way to be encouraging is that when you introduce people to other people, now I know this gets a bit dicey because I can be really, really bad with names, and I have worked really hard at getting better at it. Some of us are just better than others. We can all improve, even if we're not very good at it. But when you're introducing someone, say something good about them to that person. Hey, I want you to meet my friend Mary. You know, she is the best baker in town. Hey, I want you to meet my friend Bob. If anything is ever wrong with your car, Bob can fix it. Anything that you have nice to say about the person that you are introducing, say it. It makes people feel so good, and it is so encouraging to hear that from other people, and it will help the person you are introducing them to remember their names. When you give a fact about a person, as you introduce them, it helps cement their name in the mind of the person you're introducing them to. So that's just a bonus. You're actually helping out everybody there. But you can be encouraging even when introducing people. You don't just have to say, Mary, this is Bob, Bob, this is Mary. You can tell them each something good about the other one. And that is a really encouraging thing to hear. Another thing you can do that is very encouraging and we have not gotten to do a lot of over the past year is to show up for people. Show up. Show up to the birthday celebrations and the retirement parties and the graduation ceremonies and the funerals and the family dinners. And I know we cannot all show up to everything that comes across our desk or comes into our lives, but we should always make it a priority to try to show up for as much as we can. Because again, if you think your presence is not important, you are wrong. It is so encouraging and so important and means so much to people when you take time out of your life, which everyone knows is very busy because we are all very busy. But when you take the time out of your life to show up for milestones for people, big milestones, even little milestones, it means the world to people. And it is so encouraging to know that you have people in your life who care enough to show up. There are so many little things that we can do that really make a difference in people's lives, that encourage them. And the great news about this is that our efforts are not a one-off. You've heard the term that hurt people hurt people. Well, encouragement is infectious. And when we encourage people, they become encouragers themselves. So when we encourage someone, we create a ripple effect. It's like a little drop in the pool that ripples out and ripples out and ripples out. So your encouraging words, your encouraging actions, your encouraging presence won't just affect that person. It will reach out to the next person and then to the next and then to the next. It really is a very stealthy way to go about changing the world for the better.
Okay, here are my top 5 things to say to people to encourage them. Number 1, I believe in you. Number 2, I am here for you. Number 3, you are a really good friend. Number 4, you are so good at what you do. And number 5, I really appreciate your efforts.
So I hope you found some new ways to be intentional about encouraging others, that you have found some concrete ways in which to put those intentions into actions, and that you can be a part of making the world truly a better place, which it will be when more people feel encouraged along their way. Y'all, I really appreciate you being here. So now I think we're going to take one more break, and I'd like you to talk about how you are going to go forth from this place and start encouraging people in new ways. Maybe it's one of the ways I've just talked about. Maybe it's something that you have thought of yourself, and I would love to hear more about those. So get together and talk about how you are going to go from this place and start encouraging others.